Chapter 71 Hand Demon Chapter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Be careful. Windsor screamed when she saw this scene. However, Xia Xin and the others were already severely injured, and before they had time to react, they were wrapped around the tentacles and dragged outside. Xia Xin was better. After hearing Windsor's exclamation, he subconsciously put on a shield for himself, but Dark Moon had no defensive skills and was entangled by the opponent, further deteriorating his already injured body. At this time, Windsor had already released a binding technique, and a light rope appeared, trying to control the two tentacles. Hua and Xia Rui applied shields to Dark Moon and Xia Xin respectively. However, even so, the shield only blocked them for a short while, and the tentacles once again strangled Xia Xin and the others, and broke free from Windsor's control, trying to drag them off the ship. From Dark Moon's solution to the two-headed python with red eyes and blue eyes, to Xia Xin's crisis again, events have come and gone, leaving people overwhelmed. Everyone was first shocked by Xia Xin's hidden backhand, Dark Moon's strength, and then frightened by the new sea beast that appeared. They were worried that this sea beast was also very powerful and that the place would suffer heavy casualties when the time came. However, when they saw the red-eyed and blue-eyed two-headed python explode a purple object after dying, greedy eyes appeared in everyone's eyes. The highest quality props that most of them have seen are only blue props. The existence of a purple prop is really extremely attractive. However, they don't dare to step forward at the moment. After all, there is a sea beast next to Xia Xin's ship. Bai Xuan Li Kier looked at Xia Xin worriedly. When Wakawa Nanai killed the red-eyed and blue-eyed double-headed python in Dark Moon, he felt a sense of fear in his heart. He didn't expect that Xia Xin had such a powerful hero. At that time, he planned to leave here quickly and find a place to hide until the competition was over. Unexpectedly, Xia Xin unexpectedly encountered danger again. Coupled with the purple prop, greed took over his mind and he wanted to get this prop. The moment Xia Xin was dragged off the side of the ship, my heart immediately went cold. Is this going to end the calf? At this moment, the tentacles that bound him suddenly loosened. Xia Xin and Yu fell directly into the sea water. Xia Xin heard a neighing sound, and then saw the surrounding seawater quickly turning red. Then he saw the full face of this sea beast, which was a purple-black octopus, 10 hands magic metal, purple, rating, 13. Power, 103. Agility, 101. Defense, 102. Skills, binding, magic, great strength, alienation, chow. Xia Xin yelled, another one he couldn't deal with. It was too embarrassing. Then Xia Xin saw a blue figure emerging from the sea. It turned out to be Xiaolan, who suddenly attacked the 10-handed magic chapter, causing him to let go of Xia Xin and the others because of severe pain. At this time, all 10 tentacles of the 10 hands magic chapter wrapped around Xiaolan and sank deeply into Xiaolan's body. Xiaolan was moaning in pain because of the pain. Xia Xin was extremely anxious when he saw this scene, but he was helpless. At this moment, Xia Xin deeply felt that he had too few cards in his hand that could solve the huge crisis. After the others saw Xia Xin being dragged down, they felt happy at first, and then they were all shocked when they saw the information about the 10-handed magic seal, and then became frightened. Another one comes, what should I do? As for Windsor and the others, they were even more frightened and angry. Although they could sense that Xia Xin was not dead yet, he was nowhere to be seen and was always on the verge of danger. At this moment, flames rolled around Hua. Gradually, her body began to grow larger, and she once again entered the state of the Valkyrie. But what was different from last time was that this time the small staff in her hand disappeared and turned into a long red knife. His fiery red hair is flying, golden flames are boiling all over his body, he is wearing red armor and has patterns on his forehead, the wings behind his back flapped, and the fire quickly approached the opponent. During the flight, golden fireballs were also released, attacking the huge head of the 10-hand magic chapter. 10-handed magic chapter was in pain and let go of Xiaolan. He felt a huge threat. The demonic eye looked at Hua, and 2 black rays were shot out. Hua avoided the past 2 rays, and came face to face with the 5 tentacles of the 10-hand magic chapter. Hua held the knife in both hands and cut off one of the opponent's tentacles with one slash, and then rushed over in the gap. Upon seeing this, the Ten Hands magic chapter was so frightened that the tentacles all over his body began to fuse and turned into 3 thicker tentacles. He kept bombarding Huohua, and Huohua kept dodging. The tentacles bombarded the sea, stirring up waves. Even Xia Xian's building ship suffered a bombardment and was directly broken off the side of the ship. Huohua uttered a spell, and 3 match ropes appeared out of thin air, entangled his 3 tentacles, and then began to quickly approach the opponent. The Ten-Hand magic chapter felt a huge crisis. One of his tentacles exploded on its own and turned into a blood dance. It was then absorbed by the other 2 and broke free directly. However, Huohua was already extremely close to the opponent at this time. His 2 tentacles divided into multiple tentacles and extended upward to form a circular shield, blocking his head. Huohua first continuously cast fireball techniques to continuously destroy the opponent's defense. Then the long knife in his hand ignited golden flames and rushed directly towards the damaged area. As soon as Ten Hands magic chapter's body touched Huohua, it made a sizzling sound, like cutting a cream cake. Huohua actually rushed over without much hindrance. Standing on the head of the Ten-Hand demon chapter, Huohua inserted the long knife in his hand without hesitation, followed by muffled sounds, and the flames on the long knife exploded. In the mind of the Ten-Hand demon chapter explosion, to be safe, 2 long knives appeared in Huohua's hands again, but this time they were burning with red flames. She inserted the 2 long knives into the Jusho demon chapter's head again and detonated it again. This time, the 10-handed magic seal directly transformed into 2 items suspended in the air, both emitting a faint blue light. Watching Huohua reach out and pick up the 2 items, the crowd around him didn't make any sound. They were all stunned. I didn't expect that this little elf actually has such a side. It's so powerful. So perverted. The 10-handed magic chapter was defeated without any chance of fighting back. They looked at the other elf again. Doesn't she also have such a side? Huohua ignored all this and looked towards the sea. When he saw Xia Xian and the 2 lying on Shaolan, he immediately flew over. Then her body quickly weakened and lay on Xia Xian's body. Xia Xian looked at this scene and smiled. Fortunately, Huohua once again inspired the form of the Valkyrie at the critical moment, otherwise he would really be doomed. Chapter 72 Killing Wakawa Nina. You are listening at novelfull.audio. He took out a few fire element gems and handed them to Huohua, who was a little depressed. Huohua gave the 2 props to Xia Xian, then took the fire element gem and ate it happily. Xia Xian put away the 2 props without checking them. His face was stern. He should deal with Nikawa Nina first now. This piece of shit is just wandering around in the toilet with the light on, looking for death. Xia Xian asked Xiaolan to float up and step onto the building boat again. He saw the destroyed building boat, but he didn't pay much attention. After this time, he would definitely upgrade the building boat again. Xia Xian moved his steps, first bent down to put away the purple prop, and then looked at Wakawa Nina. Everyone was silent. Even if they saw Xia Xian put away the purple props, even if they had contributed to it, they did not dare to raise any opinions at the moment. Huohua's performance just now really scared them. Wakawa Nina looked at Xia Xian with an ugly expression. His eyes were now full of fear. He felt bad after seeing Huohua changing his form just now, and planned to run away, but he didn't expect to be stopped by Li Qier and by Shui. Even James took action, vaguely blocking his escape route. Naturally, James took action to show Xia Xian. This would at least make Xia Xian have a good impression of him. Now he has completely understood that Xia Xian is not something he can deal with at all, and he is not at the same level at all. If he could take advantage of this opportunity, he would naturally not let it go. Anyway, he had no friendship with Wawa Nishina. Bai Shui and Li Qier are different from James. They are now considered allies with Xia Xian, although they are also a little frightened by Xia Xian's endless methods. However, they were more secretly happy. After all, they and Xia Xian were barely in the same boat now. As long as they followed Xia Xian in the future, they would definitely gain a lot of benefits. Therefore, when they saw Wakawa Nina trying to sneak away, they blocked him without hesitation. It would be foolish for them to pass up such an opportunity to deepen their relationship. Wakawa Nina knew that he had offended Xia Xian to death, and he must not be kind. However, he also doesn't want to die and will not give up as long as there is a chance. He pretended to be calm and said, Xia Xin, because of my mistake just now, I caused you to be in danger, and I am willing to make compensation. He deliberately said that he had made a mistake, and then said that he wanted to make compensation, just to ask for Xia Xin's forgiveness, but Xia Xin naturally wouldn't let him go. Not to mention that he didn't miss. Even if he did, Xia Xin didn't intend to let him go. Oh. Then you kneel down, kowtow 9 times, and then give me all your gains this time. Maybe I will forgive you. Xia Xin smiled playfully. When Wakawa Nina heard this, his face turned ugly. If it was kowtow, he could accept it. Anyway, his face was not important to him at all. He felt uncomfortable because Xia Xin wanted everything he had, but he didn't say much. He now clearly understood that he was no match for Xia Xin, so he knelt down and kowtowed 9 times, then he stood up and said, I kowtowed, but I didn't gain much this time because I was being hunted all the time. However, I can compensate you with the things I collected in the past. After saying that, a card appeared in his hand and he threw it towards Xia Xin. Xia Xin checked it. Item quality improvement card, blue after use, it can improve the quality of an item. When used on items of blue quality or above, the success rate is extremely low. Xia Xin did not expect that Wakawa Nina actually had such a good thing. Although it was of blue quality, it was already a good thing for most people. Xia Xin put it away, but he didn't intend to let the other person go. What's more, the other party is still not honest until now, and doesn't want to hand over even 1 core. This is treating yourself as a fool. You are very dishonest, Wakawa Nina. Xia Xin said coldly, since you won't hand it over, I have to come and get it myself. Wakawa Nina looked ugly and said, Xia Xin, you humiliated me and asked me to kowtow. I did it. I also gave you what you asked for. Now you still don't let me go. Are you not afraid that your behavior will cause public outrage? Xia Xin laughed when he heard this. He looked at the crowd around him, and no one moved, including the demon lord, who was all silent. Do you have any objections to me killing him? Xia Xin asked. A dead silence. No one said anything, regardless of the fact that Wakawa Shernai offended Xia Xin first. Even if he didn't offend him, Xia Xin's current strength is here, and they don't dare to raise any objections. What's more, you and Kawanashina provoked Xia Xin first, and now you've lost your temper, and you actually want to incite us. Just now, you were almost incited to deal with Rico and the others, and do you want to do it again this time? Thinking that Kawanashina and others had just instigated themselves and others to go against Rico and the others, they felt frightened and broke out in a cold sweat. If Xia Xin didn't explain at that time, but took action directly, then he and others would be in danger. Thinking of this, many people glared at Wakawa Nishina. This piece of shit is really not a human being. Boss. We have absolutely no objection. Yes, boss, everyone just now understood that he was the one who wanted to harm you first. Yes, all of us can testify that this villain Wakawa Nina is really hateful. Boss, do it quickly. I can't stand looking at this kind of villain for a moment. It's too polluting my eyes. Everyone suddenly started talking, angrily scolding Wakawa Nina, asking Xia Xin to quickly deal with him. From the looks of it, if they weren't strong enough, they would have done it themselves. Xia Xin smiled, but he didn't expect this situation to happen. I am taking action now to eliminate harm for the people. In compliance with God's will, it is not too much to kill him and obtain all his belongings, right? After all, we can't let good people feel cold. Otherwise, who will be a good person in the future? Xia Xin looked at Wakawa Nina with a half-smile. Wakawa Nina's face turned green. He didn't expect such a situation. Why did he arouse public anger? Xia Xin didn't give him another chance to speak, and waved his hand. Deal with him. Windsor and Xia Rui immediately started attacking. Wakawa Nina did not expect that Xia Xin would take action immediately, and he could be directly controlled for a moment. Then Xia Rui's golden rain fell, and the civilians around him suffered heavy casualties. the only hero beside him was also killed by Huohua's fireball technique. In an instant, he was the only one left. Before he could beg for mercy, Windsor sent him away with a light arrow. Looking at the living civilians who fell into the water, Xia Xin said, "If you are willing to follow me, then swim over by yourself." As soon as he finished speaking, all the living people quickly approached Xia Xinluo's ship. P.S. Thanks to Brother Liu, who loves blue and white porcelain fingio, for the blood-stained snow-stained reminder of Guqing snow. Thanks to Intian Feixiang, user 189955551, user 283196553, Zukato who loves fried flat fish, and Chenyang who loves fried spinach and meat. Thank you for your gift support. Regular requests for updates, comments, and book reviews. Thank you everyone. Chapter 73 End. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After everyone got on the boat, Xia Xin said to the people around him, "Everyone, I have always been a person who doesn't offend others. So you don't have to worry that I will kill innocent people indiscriminately. We can cooperate in the future if we have the opportunity." Xia Xin said something special. Everyone should be. At this time, everyone received a message that the competition between the two domains was over. Xia Xin looked in the direction of the demon lords and found that they had opened the portal one after another and chose to leave. Well, it seems there is no way to gain more. Xia Xin said to Bai Shirley Kerr, "If you have any questions, please contact us through the chat channel." The two nodded, then opened the portal and left one after another. Xia Xin stepped out of the portal and suddenly relaxed. When competing in the demon realm, I always need to pay attention to my surroundings, which is indeed a bit tiring. It was now noon. Xia Xin let everyone eat first, then rested for a while, and then continued fishing. Soon, Xia Xin was eating the food cooked by Jasmine. While eating, Xia Xin opened the chat channel to see what happened in this competition between the two domains. Brother Xia is so powerful, he is simply a pervert. On the top floor, we are not at the same level as Mr. Xia. A lot of people died this time. Fortunately, I didn't go. Haha, you are all too cowardly. I killed 3 lords of the opponent this time and gained a lot of resources. Have you noticed the survival points ranking list this time? There have been a lot of changes in the top 10. For sure, Wakawa Nina was taken care of by the boss. It's not just Wakawa Nina, I saw with my own eyes that Denton from our spiritual realm was killed by the Lord of the Demon Realm. Holy crap, Denton is dead too. That Demon Lord is too strong. I feel that only Mr. Xia can deal with him. It's definitely possible, Mr. Xia is unfathomable. Xia Xin opened the survival scoreboard and looked at it. First place, Xia Xin, 2560. Second place, Bai Shui, 1320. Third place, Li Qier, 1210. Fourth place, Yi Baifeng, 1111. Fifth place, James, 1097. Sixth place, Kaidi, 1000. 0.7th place, Elizabeth, 999. This time not only Oikawa Nina and Denton died, but also the original 8th and 9th players died, and the 10th placed Kaidi jumped to 6th place. As for this Elizabeth, Xia Xin had never noticed it before. After closing the list, Xia Xin began to sort out his gains this time. The first is the core of the ship's own territory. Xia Xin harvested 43 of them respectively. Xia Xin himself has only killed about 30 lords with his own hands. The only ones that are extra are some demon realm lords. They have killed the spirit realm lords, so they will get a few more. In addition to these, there are also some messy trophies, such as various low-quality wall drawings, low-quality arrow towers, and some resource cards. Xia Xin browsed through it, most of which failed to arouse his interest, but there were still some things that were very precious to him. The first thing to bear the brunt is 43 fishing rods, which are good things. Now that he has many more civilians, they will not be idle in the future, and they can all go fishing. Apart from these, there are 2 things Xia Xin has not seen before. Micro amethyst vein resource card, white after use. You can get a micro amethyst vein. This is a good thing, especially for someone like Xia Xin who has 2 elemental elves in his hands. This is a great help. It's just a pity that it only has white quality, which is a microvein and may contain very little energy core. Green, it can automatically collect free energy and convert it into required energy. It is a small energy core. This thing is good. I wonder if it can be converted into electrical energy. If it can, then I can initially solve my own power problem. Xia Xin then tried it and found that this thing was really just a core. It was useful so far, but it was not big and could not solve his problem at all. It can currently only collect energy, but it lacks corresponding converters to convert it into other energies. Sighing, Xia Xin put this thing away. After Xia Xin finished eating, he came to the deck and found people already fishing. Xia Xin then gave the fishing rod to one person, and then asked him to distribute it and let them start fishing. At this time, Xia Xin saw Shi Pan sitting nearby. It seems like he hasn't checked out this hero yet. Xia Xin walked over. When Shi Pan saw Xia Xin coming, he quickly stood up and saluted. No need to be polite. Xia Xin said, has your accommodation been arranged? It's arranged, sir. Shi Pan said. Xia Xin nodded. From now on, you will be responsible for these civilians. Is there any problem? Xia Xin plans to hand over the management of the common people to others. From now on, he and Windsor will no longer directly interfere in the management of ordinary people. From now on, I and others will be the core high-level leaders of the entire territory, and most tasks will be assigned to other heroes. They only need to manage these heroes under their command. No problem, my lord. Yeah. Xia Xin nodded, and then checked the information on the stone plate. He hadn't read it yet. Stone plate, fine, rating, 6. Power, 30. Agility, 29. Defense, 32, +5 +3.2, Wisdom, 30. Mana, 300. Occupation, Hero, Shield Warrior, Skills, Stone Skin, Giant Shield, Giant Transformation, Equipment, Lapis Gold Shield, Green, Loyalty, 83. Affinity, 72. Xia Xin originally thought that Shi Pan was an excellent level hero, but he didn't expect that he was an excellent level hero. This was an unexpected surprise. Then Xia Xin noticed that his loyalty was actually 83, and his affinity was not low. Xia Xin knew that if the heroes were not summoned by him, their loyalty would not be full, but it was not a big problem and could be gradually improved. In the future, as I continue to fight, I will definitely conquer some heroes. It is impossible for me to summon all the heroes by myself. This is unrealistic, therefore, the loyalty of these heroes is not full, and the problem is not big, as long as they will not rebel easily, and you only need to let high-level officials and important departments be the heroes you summon. Xia Xin waved his hand and let Shi Pan go about his business, then he began to look at the 3 trophies he had gained from killing the 2 purple sea beasts, hoping not to disappoint himself. After all, he almost lost his life at that time. Incomplete Magic Eye Skill Stone, permanent. The skill stone dropped by the 10-hand magic chapter has been damaged due to other factors, leaving only the ability to view information. Xia Xin was overjoyed when he saw this introduction. Although this skill is not as offensive as the 10-hand magic seal, it is still useful to Xia Xin, and he can let Dark Moon and the others learn it. Windsor usually mentioned to him that without appraisal skills, it would always be more difficult for them to hunt alone than when Xia Xin was around. Chapter 74 Upgrade, Rewards. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Now that they have this skill, Windsor and the others will have no problem leading the team alone in the future. After all, this skill stone is a permanent item, which means that all heroes under Xia Xin can learn it in the future. Xia Xin lay on the recliner and smiled happily. At this time, Windsor and Dark Moon came over. As for Huohua, they had already gone to practice their skills. Got something good? So happy. Windsor and Dark Moon sat on the recliner next to Xia Xin. He took a sip of his drink. Xia Xin introduced him and then gave the skill stone to Windsor. Windsor and Dark Moon were very pleasantly surprised and started learning without hesitation after receiving it. Xia Xin then checked the second item, Broken 10-Handed Magic Seal Beast Core. Blue. The Broken 10-Handed Magic Seal Sea Beast Core contains the energy of the 10-handed demon seal, which has a wide range of uses. Xia Xin was stunned. There is such a thing. Isn't it equivalent to a magic core? He had tried to find this thing before after killing the sea beast, but he had never obtained it and gave up later. I didn't expect such a thing to exist, but the chance of this beast core appearing is too low, right? I have already spent 2 weeks. Although I hunt mostly low-quality sea beasts, I shouldn't have waited until now to get them. Xia Xin was a little speechless, but at least he knew that the beast core existed. Then Xia Xin looked at the last item, Fire Cloud Skyfall Skill Stone, purple after use. You can master the Fire Cloud Skyfall skill. Learning conditions, fire element related occupations. When Xia Xin saw this introduction, he was happy at first, and then a little confused. This skill can obviously be learned by Huohua. But if you use the talent to change it, you can get a golden item. If it is used, it may not still be a skill stone, and Huohua will most likely not be able to learn this skill. Well, tangled Forget it, let's talk about it tonight. Xia Xin put this matter behind him. He planned to upgrade the ship first, but the ship was still in a dilapidated state. He would go hunting later, but he couldn't just go into the sea like this. Xia Xin did not hesitate and directly chose to upgrade. After the upgrade, the entire building became completely new again. Xia Xin checked Lu Chuan's information. Level 2, 50 meters long, 15 meters wide. Facility, first floor, kitchen, large living room *1, public toilet, observation deck, fishing gallery, mast, rudder, second floor, core cabin, 2 large bedrooms, 4 small bedrooms, warehouse, public toilet, third floor, kitchen, 2 large bedrooms, 4 small bedrooms, water storage tank, restaurant, public toilet, power, multi-or linkage propulsion, technology, ship displacement technology, level, ship thermal energy technology, level, ship automation technology, level, multi-or propulsion technology, level, ship diving technology, level, weakened, special ability, diving. The second-level ship added a new floor and 2 new buildings, a restaurant and a water storage tank. Xia Xin then opened the technology interface. First, he found the diving technology and spent white stones to upgrade him to level 5. Then he upgraded the power technology to level, Finally, Xia Xin opened the full version of the diving technology, lit it up, and built it into a first-level diving technology. This time he had enough white stone, and with the destruction of the 10 hands magic seal, Xia Xin felt that he needed to get a diving technology with a shield. Although the effect is only for an hour, it can also play a big role at critical moments. After doing this, Xia Xin came to the small room where items that could be upgraded were stored. Now that I have added a lot of manpower, I need to upgrade the seawater converter and flour producer, otherwise it will not be able to meet daily needs. The first is the seawater converter. Xia Xin directly upgraded it to level 10 in one go, with the output reaching 1280 liters. With so much water, you can take a bath yourself. It just so happens that there is a water storage tank now, otherwise storing this water would be a problem. Xia Xin then upgraded the flour producer, upgrading it to level 7 in one go, with the output reaching 200 kilograms. Enough for his group of people to eat. Maybe you can make some delicious food to sell. After all, white noodles are not that common these days. After doing all this, Xia Xin looked at his remaining white stones and found that he still had less than 13,000. Xia Xin thought for a while, kept a small change, and purchased the rest of the cloth and cotton batting. After finishing everything, Xia Xin started to turn on the diving function and started hunting in the sea. Now he can stay in the sea for 4 to 5 hours. After all, I still have full diving skills for 1 hour. After just 2 hours of hunting in the sea, Xia Xin heard the reminder from the Heavenly Mother. Announcement to all, survival points will be settled this week. Everyone receives basic survival rewards based on points. Announcement to all, for the top 10 survival points, please choose your points for additional rewards. Xia Xin told Windsor and the others to continue hunting, while he randomly found a room and started collecting rewards. First, I received my basic survival reward, which was some water and food. He didn't take it too seriously. After all, it wasn't really important to him now. He started looking at the extra rewards he could get. 3 items, let yourself pick one. Xia Xin checked them one by one. Mermaid Talisman, Purple the identity certificate of the mermaid clan. Xia Xin frowned. Such a simple message. This thing looks useless. Xia Xin looked at the next one, large fertile soil resource card. Purple after using it, your territory can harvest large fertile soil. No matter what you plant, you will get much more output than ordinary land. This thing is actually pretty good. DUN blue and white seed. Purple after planting, you can get the genius treasure DUN blue and white. Xia Xin's eyes widened. There was such a good thing. Now he has the seeds of DUN mother ginseng in his hand. If he chooses this DUN blue and white, he will have 2 genius earth treasures of purple quality. Xia Xin calmed down and began to think. Needless to say, the earth origin blue and white seed can improve the strength of oneself and others, but this thing is a seed, and it is not known how long it will take to achieve the result. It may not be useful for a long time after you establish your own territory, but it can only increase your foundation. As for fertile soil, this can be used immediately after the establishment of your own territory. No matter what you plant, you can greatly increase the output of your territory and feed more people. Xia Xin knew very well that if a territory wanted to develop and grow, it could not do without a large number of territorial citizens, and if it wanted to have a large number of territorial citizens, it must have enough food. Finally, there is the mermaid letter talisman. This Xia letter is unpredictable and has too little information. Xia Xin was very confused. Chapter 75 Legend. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the end, Xia Xin decided to choose the mermaid talisman. He didn't understand this thing, but he just wanted to take a gamble and choose a strange one. Maybe it would be a big surprise. Moreover, even if he makes the wrong choice, he can use his talent to change him, and then he can get a golden prop. Xia Xin put away the item. For the next time, Xia Xin accompanied Windsor and the others in hunting until the end of time. When we surfaced, the sky had darkened. Xia Xin didn't say anything and went back to the house directly. The core cabin of the second-level ship changed again, with one more room, and became a 3-room cabin. With an extra room, Xia Xin decided to leave it to Huohua, Xia Rui and the others. After dinner, Xia Xin first put away the white stones on the money tree, then sat on the sofa, preparing for today's changes. But before that, Xia Xin first looked at the transaction list handed over by Wang Mu. After this fight, some high-quality things still appeared. However, it was just high quality, not good things, such as spoons, chopsticks and the like. Xia Xin almost kept them. They were not worth much anyway. He could save them and use them to make a lot of things. After looking at the assets, there are still about 7 white stones. I got more than 5 white stones during the hunting this afternoon. Closing the interface, Xia Xin is ready to start all kinds of changes today. Xia Xin opened the chat channel in confusion, and a friend sent a message. Xia Xin looked at it and saw that it was from Bai Shui. Xia Xin was a little confused about what she wanted from him. Clicking into the chat interface, the first thing that caught Xia Xin's attention was a picture, followed by Bai Shui's words. Do you need this? Xia Xin opened the picture. Talent quality improvement ball. Blue. There is a certain probability that the talent will be improved to a certain extent, depending on the talent quality of the trial user. Xia Xin was overjoyed. He wanted this thing so much. Without hesitation, Xia Xin replied to the message. This is useful to me. I'll trade that mutated ball with you. Xia Xin understood what Bai Shui wanted. As for why Bai Shui didn't use it herself, but used it in exchange to buy a mutation ball, maybe it was to deepen the connection with Xia Xin, or maybe she thought the mutation ball was more useful. Xia Xin doesn't care so much, as long as she exchanges it with him. Xia Xin hung the mutated ball on the trading channel and designated Bai Shui to exchange it. Soon Bai Shui completed the exchange. Xia Xin held this blue talent quality improvement ball in his hand. He doesn't dare to use his talent to change this. When the time comes to do something else, he will have to find a corner to cry. Use directly. Xia Xin was a little nervous, but don't fail. Xia Xin then opened the message and checked it. Variety of changes, legendary. It can cause any item to produce positive random changes. You can choose to specify the type of change, and the quality will definitely be improved by 1 level. 3 times a day, I went and improved it to legendary quality. Ha ha ha, Xia Xin laughed out loud, now he is also a hero of legendary quality. Xia Xin then took a closer look at the changes in his talent. There was one more piece of information, and he could choose to specify the type of change. Xia Xin's eyes lit up. In other words, he could take a quilt and select the specified equipment type, and then he could get the equipment. If he specified the blueprint type, he could get the blueprints. Xia Xin couldn't control the smile at the corner of his mouth. This improvement was very good and greatly reduced the risk of randomness. Xia Xin suddenly thought to himself that his talent was already at the legendary level, and he didn't know if it could be upgraded again. If you can continue to upgrade, will your talents become whatever you want in the future? By that time, won't you be invincible? Unfortunately, it is a designated type now, and the talent quality improvement ball is a special prop type. Even if I designate it in the future, the chance of it changing will be very low. After all, there are too many special props. Forget it, let's try our best in the future. Just leave it to chance. Xia Xin took out a water glass, which he had just purchased. It was the highest quality item purchased today, and it was a blue quality item. Xia Xin decided to use it on him. Specify the drawing type, which is versatile. Xia Xin chose drawings because drawings are very valuable. A drawing appeared in Xia Xin's hand, and Xia Xin checked the information. Bailing Pavilion Construction Drawing. Purple Bailing Pavilion can summon creatures of all races and has a certain chance of summoning heroes. With it, your territory will be continuously filled with civilians. Construction requirements: wood *1000, stone *500, refined iron *200, refined copper *100, fire element gem *10, water element gem *10, earth element gem *10. Xia Xin felt a little complicated when he saw this information. This thing must be useful. You can obtain civilians through civilian summoning cards, and civilian summoning cards are not difficult to obtain. You want to say it's useless. It also has a certain chance of getting a hero. However, Xia Xin knew very well that this so-called certain probability was estimated to be very low. Sighing, I can only say that the food is tasteless, and it is a pity to discard it, just like tasteless food. Put it away and build later. After all, it is a purple quality building. Xia Xin then took out the broken 10-handed magic seal beast core. Broken 10-handed magic seal beast core. Blue. The broken 10-handed magic seal sea beast core contains the energy of the 10-handed demon seal, which has a wide range of uses. Xia Xin chose to specify this type, and then changed it. 10-hand magic chapter beast core. Purple. The sea beast core of the 10-hand magic chapter contains the energy of the 10-hand magic chapter. It has a wide range of uses. Xia Xin looked at this information and felt a little thoughtful. The first is that this beast core is likely to be of a separate type. In the future, you can completely specify the beast core type and obtain the beast core. However, if you don't have a high-quality beast core, you don't need to use talents at all, which is not cost-effective. The second thing is that even if you have a legendary talent, if you use variety now, if you specify this type, the items you get will most likely be related items. Taking note of this, Xia Xin went to ask Windsor to call Huahua and the others over. Soon, Huahua and the others arrived in front of Xia Xin. Huahua, can you use this thing? Xia Xin said. In his opinion, Huahua and the others first appeared as pets, so these things should be useful. However, the result disappointed him, and both of them shook their heads. Well, forget it. Xia Xin gave all the elemental gems to Huahua and Xia Rui. Xia Xin used the element converter to convert other types of elemental gems into amethyst. Xia Xin left the core cabin with Huahua and the others. He planned to see if this thing was useful to Xiaolan. When we came outside, the entire building ship was moving forward quickly under the command of Li Lu, and Xiaolan kept swimming in front. Chapter 76 Fire Falls from the Sky. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xia Xin called Xiaolan and took out the 10-handed magic seal beast core. Is this thing useful to you? Xia Xin asked. Xiaolan neighed happily, and Xia Xin understood that this thing was useful to Xiaolan. He didn't say much and just threw the thing over. Xiaolan opened her mouth and ate it. Xia Xin touched Xiaolan's head and then returned to the core cabin. He takes out the third item. Fire Cloud Skyfall Skill Stone, purple after use. You can master the Fire Cloud Skyfall skill, learning conditions, fire element related occupations, specify this type and it will change. Fire Meteor Falling Skill Stone, gold after use. You can master the Fire Meteor Falling Skill Stone, learning conditions, fire element, earth element related occupations. Xia Xin breathed a sigh of relief, with a smile on his lips. Fortunately, it did not become an unusable skill stone. Needless to say, this one was a hit. This is the first gold quality skill stone that Xia Xin has obtained. After Huohuo learns it, he can transform into the form of a Valkyrie and then use it. It must be very powerful. Xia Xin is looking forward to seeing that scene. It's a pity that Huohuo still hasn't fully awakened yet, but after training, her chances of transforming into the Valkyrie form are now higher. There is no rush for this. I can only do my best and let nature take its course. Xia Xin then got up and went to bed to rest. The person lying on the bed today is Dark Moon, and Windsor went to rest in the newly added room today. Xia Xin naturally knew what this move meant. He strips off and gets on the bed. He hugged Dark Moon, who was wearing silk pajamas, and Yu's body trembled, a little tense, and then gradually relaxed. Xia Xin looked at Yu's beautiful face and kissed her lips. A secret snort came from her nasal cavity. Then a big battle started. It's daybreak. Xia Xin opened his eyes and saw that Yu had already gotten up. Xia Xin took a moment and then got up. Not long after washing, Jasmine prepared the meal. Xia Xin sat at the dining table and saw Dark Moon and Windsor walking out of the room. Yu glanced at Xia Xin, and her eyes collided with Xia Xin's. Pretending to be cold, his face quickly turned red. Xia Xin chuckled. Going to the Dark Moon last night really made him experience a different feeling, especially when Mao Tail. Windsor glared at Xia Xin coquettishly. Dark Moon told her just now, and she was a little embarrassed when she heard it. After dinner, Xia Xin gave Windsor the resource fishing rod and asked her to take charge of today's fishing. After Windsor left, Xia Xin sat on the sofa and began to study technology. Jasmine was fine. She walked to Xia Xin's side, knelt down and started to knead Xia Xin's legs. Xia Xin glanced at it and ignored it. He wanted to solve the problem of electricity. So I directly searched for the keyword electricity. Ship power technology. This technology will be introduced later. After lighting up, the building boat can be equipped with the conditions for using electrical energy. Xia Xin had seen this technology before, but it couldn't be lit at that time. Xia Xin tried lighting it up again, and this time the prompt still appeared. Building ship level 3 can light up the ship's electrical energy technology. In the past, the conditions were not met and could not be lit. It seems that this prompt will only change when the conditions are about to be met. Xia Xin nodded secretly. According to his current earning speed, it will be completed in just a few days. Close the panel. Xia Xin was about to go out when Heavenly Mother suddenly started making announcements. Announcement to all, congratulations to everyone for spending 2 weeks. Next, you will learn more about the world. I wish you a happy journey. Xia Xin was a little confused about this paragraph. What did it mean? Just to send a congratulations? This is not the style of Heavenly Mother. When has she ever spoken without causing trouble? Xia Xin thought about the information behind this sentence many times. The last one, understanding the world further, caught Xia Xin's attention. Xia Xin remembered what the negative mountain turtle had said. He told himself that it was the Heavenly Mother who restricted the actions of various races, just to gradually train them, novice lords. Now, does this sentence mean that Heavenly Mother has unlocked the restrictions of various races? When I thought about it, it probably couldn't be completely unlocked. It should be that only part of the restrictions were unlocked. Does this mean that I am likely to encounter people of other races in my future journey? Xia Xin was a little worried, but more of he was looking forward to it. He wanted to understand the world and see what the world really looked like. Xia Xin couldn't help but feel excited when he thought that he would come into contact with people of different races next. After calming down his mood, Xia Xin stood up and walked outside. As soon as he came out, Xia Xin felt that the weather today was a bit gloomy and there was no sunshine. The sky is covered with dark clouds and the sea is vast as far as the eye can see. Such an environment makes people feel depressed involuntarily. Xia Xin came to the lounge chair and patted Yu, who stood up and gave up his position. Xia Xin sat on the recliner, then hugged Dark Moon, let her sit on his lap, and touched her cat ears with his hands. Yu trembled, then leaned into Xia Xin's arms. Windsor looked at Xia Xin's dishonest look and didn't say anything. She just rolled her eyes at him. Xia Xin just laughed and drank the juice. Xia Xin quietly enjoyed this quiet moment. However, not long after, Xia Xin heard Xiaolan neighing, and then saw Xiaolan's whole body surging not far away. The skin on the body continued to crack, wounds appeared, and blood continued to flow out. Xia Xin and the three of them all stood up. They thought an enemy appeared and attacked Xiaolan. However, after waiting for a while, no other sea beasts appeared. Xia Xin suddenly thought. Could it be that the reason why Xiaolan ate the beast core of the 10-handed magic seal last night caused Xiaolan's change? It's okay, Xiaolan is probably evolving. Xia Xin looked at Windsor and the others' worried expressions and comforted them. After hearing Xia Xin's words, Windsor felt relieved, but she still used the healing technique to start curing Xiaolan, which would at least alleviate Xiaolan's pain. Time passed, and gradually, Xiaolan stopped neighing, and the skin on its body began to heal. After the original bloody wounds healed, they turned into red lines. Xiaolan's appearance now has a more eerie feeling. Xia Xin opened Xiaolan's message, Little Blue/Deep Sea Demonic Whale, Purple, 30 meters long, rating, 7. Power, 52. Agility, 48. Defense, 48. Skills, Impact, Bite, Thunder Sword, Big Wave, Change. The name has been changed from Deep Sea Giant Whale to Deep Sea Demonic Whale, and the skill has had an additional change. P.S. Thank you for liking Long Gui's Bobo Milk Tea from Hot Wapu. Thank you NNN for your love letter. Thanks to Wei Renho Mansion for the flowers. Thanks to Muki Pavilion, Flying on a Cloudy Day, Long Gui, who likes Riwapu, and Xiaolang, a kind-hearted person, who uses his love to generate electricity. Special thanks to Long Gui, who likes Hot Wapu, and Yintian Feixiang, who keeps sending small gifts. Grateful. Please urge me to update, and please give me good book reviews. Chapter 77 Island. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Even Xiaolan's attributes have increased a bit. It seems that the beast core of this 10-handed magic chapter has greatly improved it. What is the effect of your transformation skill? Xia Xin asked after waiting for Xiaolan to evolve. Xiaolan shook her body from side to side. Under the surprised eyes of Xia Xin, Windsor and others, they saw Xiaolan's body shrinking rapidly, and finally only 1 or 2 meters long. After Xiaolan's body became smaller, she kept swimming in the sea and jumped out of the sea from time to time, feeling quite proud. Xia Xin looked at Xiaolan's show-off and felt a little dumbfounded. It seemed that Xiaolan was not very young mentally. Is this the only effect? Xia Xin asked, because in his opinion, this skill is of little use. Hearing Xia Xin's question, Xiaolan stopped and swayed her body from side to side again. Her body began to grow rapidly, growing to 60 meters, it has doubled its original body length. Looking at Xiaolan, who was even longer than his own building, Xia Xin opened his eyes wide. This move is still very powerful. Sometimes being huge has many advantages. After patting Xiaolan's head, Xia Xin sat back on the recliner. At this time, a civilian came over, and Xia Xin took a blueprint he handed to him. It was a recliner again, so I was a little helpless. Xia Xin built it directly and placed it next to him. Dark Moon walked over and lay down. At this moment, Windsor fished up an item. Xin, these are the items we got this morning. Windsor handed over 3 items. The first item is a magic wand, Starlight Magic Wand, green, increases the caster's magic value by 10%. Looking at this introduction, Xia Xin decided to use his talent to change it at night. If it was still a magic wand, then he would use it for Huohuo. Now Huohuo is Xia Xin's key training target and can be used as a powerful weapon in his current team. The second item is a blueprint, diving respirator production drawing, green. You can make a diving respirator, allowing you to move freely in the ocean. Production requirements: wood *5, plastic *10, iron block *3, copper block *2. This doesn't seem to be particularly useful to me right now. Xia Xin touched his chin and thought for a moment, and the production of this thing actually requires wood, which makes Xia Xin a little confused. Forget it. Bai Bian used him at night, selected the drawing type, and saw if there were any unexpected gains. The last item is a card, medium-sized horned horse group, blue, resource card. You can get horned horse after using it. It can travel and even act as cavalry. Let me go. Xia Xin sat up straight. With blue quality, you can get purple props again. Xia Xin put this thing away happily. Apart from going hunting in the afternoon, there seems to be nothing else going on at the moment. Xia Xin opened the chat channel. I took a look at the regional channel first. Not many people were chatting, and the number of people was actually less than 3. Xia Xin was secretly stunned. It had only been 2 weeks, and, % of the people had already died. It was so cruel. If other areas had the same death rate as here, then the number of people eliminated in the past 2 weeks would be an astronomical number. But Xia Xin feels that there shouldn't be so many deaths. Xia Xin turned on the world channel. Brothers, guess what the disaster will be this week? What's there to guess? The soldiers will block it, and the water will cover it. It's just reckless. Brother upstairs, this organ of the brain should not be used as a decoration. When it comes to brains, I want to eat hot pot pig brains. Brother, your thinking is too fast. Xia Xin also smiled when he saw this. This person is quite funny. But this also shows that many people can't stand eating boring food for a long time. At this moment, a piece of news was like a bomb dropped into the lake, causing thousands of waves. Holy shit, brothers, I think I saw an island. Damn it, don't be so blinded as to mistake the giant sea beast for an island. Brother, is it true? Here, is there really an island? I thought Heavenly Mother was playing tricks on me. No matter what, I have to take a closer look. Brothers, wish me good luck. Brother, good luck. Brother, go all the way. Brother, if you have news, you must send it. That the messages continued to refresh later, but this time there was no reply. It seemed that the other party was really getting ready to investigate. Xia Xin was also shocked when he saw the news. He originally thought that he would be the first person to land on the island this time, but he didn't expect that someone would meet him now. In his speculation, the first person to land and establish a territory will definitely receive a big reward. Moreover, the first person to establish a territory must be far away from those who can establish a territory later. Xia Xin was also a little uneasy and kept staring at the world chat channel, waiting for news. After some time, this person sent a message. Brothers, it's really an island. Ha 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 ha. I'm so lucky. Damn it, I'm envious. Ah. Why haven't I met the island yet? Jealousy has driven me to pieces. There was a cry from below, and Xia Xin also felt cold. Brother, quickly establish a territory and tell us what the territory looks like. Yes, brother, hurry up. Brother, you can't hide anything. Brother, you are so awesome. You established a territory earlier than Mr. Xia. The people upstairs can't say that. This thing depends on luck. Exactly. Xia Xin didn't expect that someone would cue him, and he couldn't laugh or cry for a moment. Ha ha ha, I will establish a territory now. Brother, what does the territory look like? Brother, tell me quickly. Does it take this long to establish a territory? Brother, don't you want to share the news? After 2 or 3 minutes, the person still didn't reply, and everyone started to get anxious. Xia Xin was also a little anxious. He was also eager to know the information about establishing a territory. Finally, the other party started speaking again. Brothers, I'm crying, we can't establish a territory. You're kidding. You can't establish a territory when you encounter an island. You don't want to share information, so you are deliberately making excuses. That's right, brother, tell me quickly. I really didn't lie to you, it's true. Xia Xin looked down and began to make various doubts, although at first Xia Xin thought that the other party wanted to deliberately conceal information about the territory, but after watching it for such a long time, the other party's words seemed to be genuine, and it seemed that he was not lying. He really couldn't establish a territory. Xia Xin sent a message. What is the specific situation? Why can't we build an island? Chapter 78 The Dilapidated Town. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Xia Xin's message was first sent out, it was quickly wiped out by the constant stream of messages, but someone still noticed it. Brothers, don't say anything yet, Brother Xia has spoken. Really? Why didn't I see it? Don't post it yet, you guys have blocked the news. Since the competition between the two realms ended, Xia Xin's reputation and prestige among the lords of the spiritual realm has been at its peak. After a minute, there was obviously a lot less news. Xia Xin sent the message again and added a sentence at the end. Brothers, don't speak yet, let him speak. A young man in a long robe, followed by 5 people, was sitting on the grass and suddenly stood up, startling the people around him. Tap tack, the boss talked to me. This guy was so excited that he quickly started replying to the message. Boss, everything I said is true. He said aggrievedly. I believe what you said is true, just tell me the specific situation. Xia Xin replied. I just took out the core of the territory and then said to establish the territory. But there was no response, only a reminder from Heavenly Mother saying that it did not meet the conditions for establishing a territory. Then I wandered around the island and changed several places, but the message still did not meet the conditions for establishing a territory. I don't understand the specific situation either. After Xia Xin heard this, his thoughts changed rapidly, not meeting the conditions for establishing a territory. What circumstances do not meet the conditions for establishing a territory? One is that the island may have an owner, and only one territory can be established on an island. Another possibility is that this island lacks something and does not meet the conditions for establishing a territory. As for other situations, Xia Xin couldn't guess. He stated his guess, and then said, you can explore the island, be careful, maybe you will get something unexpected. I understand, boss. I will post the news on the World Channel if there is any news. Xia Xin did not reply, but applied to add the other party as a friend. When Liu Ping saw Xia Xin's friend request, she was so excited that she immediately clicked to agree. Hello, boss. Yes. I speculate that this island should be a way for Heavenly Mother to learn more about the world as mentioned today. You can go around for a while, maybe you will gain something, but be careful. Xia Xin replied to him. This is also Xia Xin's guess, and now it's up to Liu Ping to verify it. Understood, boss, I will notify you as soon as there is any news. Liu Ping replied, he didn't ask for any reward either. He understood that if he asked for a reward, he would be making a one-and-done deal with Xia Xin. However, if he didn't mention his remuneration, he would probably be able to contact Xia Xin from now on, and his future harvest might be much more cost-effective than if he mentioned his remuneration now. What's more, Xia Xin's reputation among the spiritual domain lords is pretty good, and Xia Xin shouldn't let himself work in vain. Well, let me know if there is news, and I will give you the corresponding reward then. Xia Xin replied, if you want a horse to run, you have to feed it grass. Xia Xin still understands this simple truth. Boss, you are looking down on others. Xia Xin was a little confused. It's my honor to work for you. Don't ask me for payment in the future. You are insulting me, Liu Ping said a little shamelessly. Xia Xin was a little stunned when he saw this reply. This is also a weird thing. Okay. Let's go explore quickly. Xia Xin didn't know how to deal with such a person. Don't worry, boss, I promise to complete the mission. After Liu Ping sent out the message, he immediately said to the people around him, little ones, let's start exploring the island. Be smart and don't fall into the trap. Liu Ping and others chopped weeds and kept moving forward. From time to time, you will encounter some attacks, all from the island's monsters. However, the strength is generally not strong. Even Liu Ping, who is at level 5, can solve it alone, not to mention that there are 5 people around him, and there is a hero among them, although it is just an ordinary hero. In this way, Liu Ping moved all the way towards the center of the island. Xia Xin closed the chat channel. His thoughts were flying, and he was thinking, now he has become more and more certain that this island is a way for Heavenly Mother to let him and others understand the world. I believe that people will continue to encounter this situation in the future. Although no one had established a territory, Xia Xin felt a little relieved. He wants to be the first to establish a territory. However, Xia Xin was still a little worried. That is, the islands you find based on the map will not be unable to establish territories, right? Well. Xia Xin sighed. Because he found himself completely helpless. At present, he can only proceed according to the established plan. Even if he encounters an island where he cannot establish a territory, he has no choice. Now we can only do our best and obey fate. What's wrong? Windsor asked with concern when she heard Xia Xin sigh. Dark Moon also looked over. Nothing. Xia Xin shook his head. It was useless to say such things. It would only increase the number of people who were troubled. Xia Xin stopped thinking about it, drank a drink, lay on the recliner, and began to close his eyes and rest. Before he knew it, Xia Xin fell asleep. At noon, Windsor woke him up. Xia Xin just opened his eyes and was still a little dazed. Especially the gloomy weather made him think it was night. It took him a while to realize that it should be noon now. Xia Xin had lunch, turned on the diving technology, and started today's hunting. On the other side, Liu Ping has also been exploring the island all morning. Apart from picking some wild fruits, he didn't gain much. Now the 6 of them are sitting there eating. There was a wild boar roasting on the ground, as well as some wild fruits and bread. The 6 people looked at the sizzling wild boar and swallowed involuntarily. They haven't eaten this kind of meat for a long time, and the meat they usually eat is just fish. They almost vomited after eating it. The 6 of us devoured a delicious lunch and then started exploring again. 2 hours later, a man rushed out of the weeds, looked at everything in front of him, and shouted loudly, my lord, I have discovered something." That when Liu Ping heard the call, he quickened his pace and rushed out of the grass. Seeing the scene in front of him, he was also stunned. A dilapidated small town appeared in front of him. The small town is partly made of stone walls and partly made of wooden walls, and there is a dry river surrounding the city walls. There are still some small animals running in the ditch because of the shouting. There are also some weeds on the ground here, but maybe because people used to walk here often and the land is hard, the weeds generally don't grow high. Sparsely scattered in the east and dotted in the west, Liu Ping was very excited when he saw this scene. It's made! Liu Ping shouted excitedly. There are definitely a lot of good things in such a small town. He calmed down his excitement, and then said, let's go, pay attention to the surrounding area. The 6 of them started walking towards the small town. Chapter 79 Liu Ping explores the city. Xia Rui upgrades. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After crossing the broken bridge over the dry river ditch, Liu Ping entered the small town. The first thing that comes into view is the dilapidated houses and overgrown weeds. After cleaning up and killing several low-level monsters along the way, Liu Ping encountered a city wall again. This city wall is basically well preserved and is made entirely of bluestone. Liu Ping and his party of 6 walked through the doorway and entered inside. The buildings here are still in good condition. Although the buildings on both sides of the road are damaged, it can be vaguely seen that this was a place where people lived and worked in peace and contentment. Liu Ping and the other 6 randomly entered several buildings, but to his disappointment, there was nothing of value inside. He had no choice but to move forward again, until we got to the center. The buildings here are obviously much taller, and the styles are no longer uniform. Each has its own characteristics. In particular, a castle in the center attracted the attention of Liu Ping and others. Liu Ping did not hesitate and went directly to the castle first. The castle is very large, with various trees planted in the courtyard, as well as some fruit trees. Liu Ping didn't start picking immediately. After all, this thing was here and couldn't escape. He walked around for a while first. In the southeast corner of the castle, there is a building occupying a large area. When he walked over, most of it was destroyed, but there are still 2 intact ones. He walked over excitedly. The building is made of bluestone, with some bows and arrows hanging around the house. As soon as he got closer, he got a hint. If a complete troop nest is found, should it be destroyed? Note that there is a certain chance of obtaining the nest of this unit after destroying it. Ha 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 ha. Liu Ping laughed out loud. It turned out to be a troop nest. So far, he only had a white militia troop nest in his hands. Now I actually got another one. No, it should be 2. There is another one next to it. Although there is only a certain chance of getting it, I can't let him stay here anymore, right? Liu Ping immediately began to order his men to destroy the building. After everything was destroyed, a burst of green light suddenly flashed, and a green troop nest was suspended in the air. Liu Ping used spiritual eyes to identify. Archer troop nest, green. After use, you can summon archers. Ha ha ha. Liu Ping grinned happily from ear to ear. Green troop lair, this is a good thing. Then, he quickly joined the people around him to destroy another troop nest. Unexpectedly, a troop nest appeared again this time, and it was actually blue. Liu Ping was stunned for a moment, and even rubbed his eyes in disbelief. Holy shit, I wasn't dreaming. Liu Ping quickly reached out and picked up the item. Lancer troop nest, blue. After use, you can summon lancers. This is a powerful cavalry unit. Seeing this information, Liu Ping smiled so stupidly that the men around him thought their master was ill. Sir, aren't we going to explore? One person reminded. Liu Ping reacted and put this thing away. Let's go. Don't miss every building. We won't leave until we finish exploring. This time he was surprised by the 2 troop nests, and he didn't even see the center of the castle. If you explore them all, how much benefit will you get? Liu Ping was excited. The 6 people began to divide into 2 pairs and continue to sweep here. Xia Xin ended today's hunting. There were no surprises along the way. In addition to getting nearly 6 white stones, there were also some white quality architectural drawings. He didn't pay much attention to these white quality things and put them all away at once. Lying on the recliner, Xia Xin checked his information. Xia Xin, no, 002, 022, 1025, level, 6, 2/600, strength, 32, plus 10, agility, 32, plus 3.2, defense, 31, plus 5 plus 3.1, wisdom, 30. Magic value, 300, plus 30, occupation, hero, ice elemental user, skills, spiritual eyes, water arrow, green, shield, green, freeze, purple, equipment, staff, green, ring, green, starfish armor, green, talent, variety, legendary, name, none. After fighting this afternoon, he has been upgraded to level 6, and each basic attribute has increased by 5 points. In the future, he can participate in more hunting without deliberately suppressing his level improvement. After all, he is now of legendary quality. In addition to his own improvement, there is another person who has been upgraded, and that is Xia Rui. Xia Rui / Golden Elemental Elf, Gold, level, 6. Power, 55. Agility, 52. Defense, 56. Skills, Gingjin Body, Golden Shield Technique, Sharp Arrow Technique, Golden Cage Technique, and Golden Rain, Loyalty, 100. Affinity, 100. This should be the effect of Xia Rui taking gold element gems and amethyst. But what disappointed him was that Hua hadn't upgraded yet. Logically speaking, she had more gems than Xia Rui. As for why, Xia Xin thinks it may be because Huohua is in the process of awakening, so it consumes a lot of energy. He couldn't find any other reason besides that. In the evening, Xia Xin had dinner on the deck. He had barbecue and opened 2 bottles of red wine. Xia Xin was eating and opened the chat channel. Did you find anything? Xia Xin sent a message to Liu Ping. Liu Ping was having dinner, which was some edible meat that he found in the underground cold storage of the Lord's castle. He had a cook on staff, so he used the castle's kitchen to cook a delicious meal, but there was one less person eating. He felt uncomfortable thinking about this. After entering the castle, there were actually 2 puppets. He originally thought they were ordinary statues, but he lost one of his men without paying attention. After solving them and entering the castle, he obtained the core of the territory in the castle and some gems in the warehouse. But he didn't quite know what these things were for. At this time, after receiving Xia Xin's message, he quickly replied. "Boss, there is an abandoned lord's territory on the island." Xia Xin was shocked. This was indeed beyond his expectation. "Please tell me in detail." Then Liu Ping recounted what happened to him along the way. After hearing this, Xia Xin was a little confused. According to Liu Ping's introduction, the inner city wall of this territory was still intact. How could it have been completely destroyed? Moreover, even if it was breached by others, why would the core of the territory be left behind? And according to Liu Ping, the castle's warehouse has not been touched at all. In other words, the enemy is not trying to capture it, but simply attacking. Suddenly, an idea appeared in Xia Xin's mind. Wouldn't there be a disaster after establishing the territory? Only when the Heavenly Mother takes action, in order to test the lords, will there be a situation where the lords are killed but nothing is looted. As soon as Xia Xin's idea appeared, it occupied his entire brain. The more he thought about it, the more likely it became. Chapter 80 Purchase. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Unfortunately, Xia Xin understood that even if his idea was right, he had no way to solve it. He could only block it with soldiers and cover it with water and soil. Putting aside the messy thoughts, Xia Xin continued to communicate with Liu Ping. "How many gems do you have in your hand? Can you sell them?" Xia Xin asked. These gems are currently of little use to most people, therefore, Xia Xin decided to take off the gems from Liu Ping's hands. After all, he had 2 elemental elves in his hands to raise. Liu Ping was stunned for a moment when he saw Xia Xin's news. He was thinking about the use of this gem and why Xia Xin wanted to buy it. Soon, he wanted to understand. It's not that he understands the usefulness of this gem, but that he understands that this gem has no use for him now. Whether he can find the territory alive or not is still one thing. Why do he think so much? It is better to exchange some resources quickly. With the white stone in hand, whether it is to upgrade the wooden boat or use it to deal with disasters, I will be more confident. "Boss, I sell this thing. I have 176 gems here, mostly water elements and earth elements." Liu Ping replied, 176. Xia Xin was a little disappointed when he saw this number. He originally thought that Liu Ping had raided a lord's warehouse and there should be a lot of gems, but unfortunately there was only this little, but it's still better than nothing. Xia Xin also purchased elemental gems from the trading channel, but unfortunately there are currently very few of them. He only purchased about 20 gems in total. Compared with acquisitions, Liu Ping now has a lot in his hands. However, after this time, there should be many people encountering the territory, and I can definitely purchase elemental gems again. This time I should be able to gain a lot, but let's wait a few days to purchase elemental gems again. No one else has encountered the island now. Okay, I want them all. You can give me a price. Xia Xin said. "Boss, I don't understand the value of this." Liu Ping replied honestly. Xia Xin was stunned because he didn't understand the market either. His last purchase was based on 20 pieces. At present, it seems that he is the only one collecting baishe. In other words, his own price is the market price. How about 20 white stones per piece? Can you accept it? Xia Xin said. Xia Xin quoted a price. He tested it in his personal mall. An elemental gem probably cost 18 white stones, so he paid a little more. Liu Ping naturally went to the mall to test the price of an elemental gem. The reason why he said he didn't know the market was because he didn't know the price at which others purchased it. He checked the trading channel just now and found that Xia Xin was the only one purchasing elemental gems. Therefore, he no longer hesitated. No problem, boss, I sold them all. Liu Ping said. You hang it up and I'll buy it directly. After Liu Ping saw it, he put all the gems on the trading channel without saying a word. After Xia Xin saw it, he bought them all without saying anything. Liu Ping saw that his things disappeared, and instead he had more than 3,000 white stones. He replied in amazement, the boss is so rich, more than 3,000 white stones, and he spent it so neatly. Seeing Xia Xin's move so neatly, Liu Ping suddenly had the urge to sell the troop nest as well. Fortunately, he reacted in time and decided not to sell this thing yet. Now that he has a batch of white stones in his hand, he can keep the troop nest. In this way, when you encounter a real island and establish your own territory, you will at least have manpower in your hands. What's more, even if you encounter a crisis midway, you can always sell it when the time comes. He knew very well that the military lair was still very popular in the trading channel, and the top few people would buy this kind of thing. Don't worry about not being able to sell it then. It's not bad. If you sell elemental gems to me in the future, I will buy them for a long time. Xia Xin smiled and replied. Okay, boss. Liu Ping replied, and then said knowingly, it's nothing, I won't disturb you, boss. You can rest quickly. Ah. Xia Xin closed the chat box and opened the world channel. Liu Ping had already started bragging about his experience inside. Brothers, there is a lord's territory on this island, so no territory can be established. Damn it, you won't meet the lord, will you? No, this is just an abandoned territory. I went in for a walk and harvested some good things. Don't brag about what good things can come from being abandoned. Hey, if you still don't believe it, here's the picture above. Liu Ping directly put up pictures of his 2 military units' nests, as well as some other scattered things. I'm going. Brother, you've made it. I'm envious, it's actually a blue quality troop lair. When will I encounter an island? Hahaha, there were some elemental gems originally, but later they were sold to Mr. Xia Xin. It wasn't much, only 3,000 and 5,000 white stones were sold. Liu Ping was proud. You're so lucky. You really deserve to die. Seeing you get rich is more uncomfortable than killing me. Boss Xia Xin is so rich. I saw Boss Xia Xin collecting elemental gems since yesterday. 1 white stone costs 20. I don't know what the use of this thing is. Boss Xia Xin keeps collecting it. Wake up. What works for the boss may not necessarily work for us. Damn it, brother, do you have the friend status of Mr. Xia Xin? Hahaha, of course. The boss said that he will acquire elemental gems for a long time. Liu Ping said proudly, in his opinion, this friend position is much more precious than the white stone he harvested. After climbing up to Xia Xin, you can enjoy the shade under the big tree. Are you still worried about not being able to develop? Xia Xin watched Liu Ping chatting and spanking on the world channel, smiled, and said nothing. After all, Liu Ping was publicizing his intention to acquire elemental gems in disguise, so there was no harm in it. Close the panel. After Xia Xin finished dinner, Xia Xin first put other unused elemental gems into the converter, then they returned to the core cabin with Windsor and the others. Today, Windsor accompanied him, while Dark Moon went to another room. Xia Xin originally wanted the 2 of them to accompany him, but unfortunately you couldn't bear it and refused to agree. Xia Xin had no choice but to give up. As for Huohua, Xia Rui and the others, the 2 of them are still on the deck, and now they are using the power treasure of Huohua again. Sitting on the sofa, Xia Xin prepared to use all kinds of things today. Windsor was lying on the bed, reading a book. This was something that was revealed during today's hunt. Xia Xin was quite surprised when he saw those books. He originally thought there would be some useful information in the book, but later he discovered that the book was just some stories. Although it has some uses, it's not particularly big. It's mainly used as a recreational item. Xia Xin took out the first item.